Today I've come to the church in Countess Wear, which is now a suburb of Exeter, but once upon a time it would have been a hamlet or a village standing in its own right on the River Exe. This is not an old church by the standards of parish churches in England. It's about 180 years old. The main part was built at the beginning of the reign of Queen Victoria, around 1840, 1848. A plaque on the wall tells us that this burial ground was enclosed in 1847. A bit of a tilt on this stone, but a clear inscription: "Sacred to the memory of William Bevis. Died December the 30th, 1847, aged 63 years. In memory of Shadrach Coxwell, 10th of August 1867, aged 56, and then the delightfully named Metford Selly Coxwell, 1866, aged 19 years, and then beneath that we got a William Coxwell. Alongside there we have James Lasky, in memory of my dear husband. He died aged 67, can't quite make those dates out. This is in remembrance of Robert Adiscott, 1874, aged 56 years. An interesting stone is to Ellen Elizabeth Andrew, died in May 1911, aged 79. Beneath that we have her daughter with the same name, Ellen Elizabeth Andrew, and she died just 3 months later, aged 54. A delightful pair of memorial stones with a rope tying them together, but that's all done in the stone itself. This is Walter Percy Sladen and his wife Constance, and he was VP of the Linnean Society, and that's the world's oldest society dedicated to the study of natural history. So the Sladens died in 1900 and 1906. This one is to Thomas Richards Radden, the dearly beloved husband of Kate, could be Mia Radden. And we've got a death there of 1908. This one's tilting forward at an awkward angle, but you can see the lettering has been redone recently, picked out in black. Charles Armitage Brown, 1845 to 1917. There's a large one at the back here, but I'm afraid the names are going to remain a mystery because it's rather nicely covered completely with this ivy. A horizontal memorial. This is to Flora Henrietta Maria, the beloved wife of the grandly named Alexander Henry Abercrombie Hamilton of Fairfield Lodge. And on the other side the gentleman himself is remembered. There's a nicely kept area here of more modern memorials. These will be for people that were cremated, and just a stone with some details for each one of them. It's nice to have somewhere to come and remember that person. The inscriptions are fairly simple. The name and the dates One to Joan Ricketts, Rita, Marion Mason, Thomas Arthur Tarr, Doris Marks, and so on down the line. This one's to Rose Edith Setter, 1917, aged 15, and then Thomas Setter and his wife Edith Rose Setter. Presuming the one at the top is their daughter, and she's got the reverse name of her mother, Edith Rose and Rose Edith. Adjoining it is Elizabeth, the wife of Henry Hill, of the delightfully named Primrose Cottage, Countess Wear, and that's 1917. Standing out distinctively amongst the other stones is one of the Commonwealth graves markers. This is to Bombardier G.L. Jesard. That's an interesting name. Royal Artillery, 1939. One with a double-barreled name. Clelia Mary Legger Weeks. That's definitely Clelia. Maybe it's pronounced Celia. And underneath, Ethel Clelia Legger Weeks. It is not a large churchyard. Sorry if there's a bit of wind noise, but it's blowing a gale today. The church itself is locked up, so we're not going to be able to give you a view of the inside. There's a story behind this one. Paul Stanley Davis, who was accidentally killed in 1941, aged 51. And then Maggie, his wife, and their son Paul, who died a few years later in Switzerland. This is the most decorative one in the churchyard. The figure of Christ is brought out in relief on the front, and at the bottom we have the inscription to Peter Nicholas Fulford Talbot, who was just 4 years and 8 months in 1945. Is one that raises all sorts of questions. This is to Cecil and Ralph Jennings, who passed away 1940, aged 47 and 34 years. So two men passed away on the same day and 13 years difference between them. So possibly brothers, but not clear what the story is behind this one. Husband and father George Gammon of Ilfracombe. Now Ilfracombe is on the north coast of Devon. We're down on the south now, so probably 55-60 miles away from Ilfracombe. He died in 1946, aged 74. Probably the largest, or one of the largest graves in the churchyard is this one to John Besley Martin, CBE, died 1982, Muriel Martin 2002, and then Melissa Martin died in 1980. That was my visit to the Church of St Luke's in the parish of Wear, or Countess Wear. Hope you enjoyed it. Till the next time.